up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I took notes, but I don't know how well I took notes because I was I was laying down trying to take notes while I was laying down. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. Let me know you stopped by. Don't forget to like the video, okay? Damn it. All right. So I don't really think I took the best notes, but we'll see, okay? We'll see. All right. So um Paulie, we're at Paulie's house. I love Paulie's house. I've been told y'all I love Paulie's house. I love the front. I love the inside. Everybody was so impressed with this house when they arrived for the coffee grind reader party, which was interesting. Um, it was so interesting. It was really interesting. And I thought to myself, does this lady know Jennifer? Because everybody's stories were it was just too on point, just too on point. Uh, just too on point. So Dolores is talking to Paulie, and they're talking about Frank, and um, and Paulie is like, Frank is gonna have to get used to this, and Frank's the one who made the mistake, and Dolores let him know it doesn't have anything to do with personal attachment. He just feels like he's losing his family dynamic. And you know what? I understand. I like understand both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because even though Frank and Dolores divorced, she says later that she was lucky she raised her kids and was not married when she raised her kids. Um, but the family dynamic, it is not inappropriate. They are very much so friends. And this idea that she has to kind of, you know, change the friendship with him that she has, it's kind to me, I feel like I don't know how that's gonna go with, I don't know. I just don't know. Frank does not deserve, you know, for Dolores to cater to him. He doesn't. We know that. But she has, and he has created this this dynamic between them and their children, to where even if she has a partner, he's still able to be around. Now, of course, he's not going to be around to the extent that he was with David, because David was never there. Paulie is here. So that's where I understand, like, Frank, you're going to have to adjust a little bit more, because this time she has a present boyfriend. Before, David was not present. He's a dedicated doctor. Shout out to the dedicated doctors. I think that Paulie sees it as though Frank still loves Dolores. I believe Frank still loves Dolores, but not in a romantic, oh, I want to get with her way. I love her. I have children with her. We have this friendship together. We're able to, date other people. We don't have this like jealousy or envy, anything going on like that, or anything inappropriate. And I feel like Frank is Dolores's friend, and she has children with her friend, and I feel like it's a little unfair that Paulie is making it difficult. I think Paulie is the one that came into this relationship and this dynamic, and he should be a little bit more understanding. That's how I feel about that. Y'all let me know. I don't think anybody needs to cater to Frank, because he effed up. He effed up and he lost Dolores, and he was an a-hole. I know he feels guilty. But I like I said, I see it both ways. I feel like Paulie is not being as understanding as he should to the relationship dynamic that has been developed and set in foundation for how old is the oldest child, for that long of a time. and he's always been there for her in through everything. He's been there. Frank Catania is in the beginning, in the opening credits, when the girls turn around. Frank is back there. Go look at it. It's Frank, not Paulie. So I just feel like Paulie should come to a little. I think Paulie and Frank need to have a conversation, which I agree with Paulie. Like, you should have came to me. I feel like he should have a conversation with Paulie about the dynamics and what could they do so that we can still maintain this relationship and not really cut him completely off, but still respect Paulie's, boundaries. That's how I think about it. She tells Paulie that she's going to have lunch with Jennifer. They're calling a truce. So we're going to see how that goes. We see Rachel. Rachel and she's giving her daughter a backpack. A little backpack is so cute. She says they have a lot of businesses, a tile business, valet service, and another business they have. And they're talking about having another kid. Remember, we talked about that. And she's saying, yeah, they're going to kind of put it off. Jaden, is his name Jaden? Jalen or Jaden? He's going to be going off to school soon. And they talk a little bit about his birth mother not being present, and she wants to adopt him. I don't know. Y'all let me know, you family court attorneys. With the mom not being present at all, not providing any support to the child when it's time to adopt, will she have to have a say? And he's almost 18. So, like, how old is he? 16, 17? He's almost 18. I mean, you're going to adopt him. That's fine. But will the mother that is not present, not absent, not supportive, not doing anything, will she have to be present for the judge and sign something? Y'all let me know. I don't feel like that would be the case. If she's absent and not involved and not supporting in any way, no emotional, financial, no support, like, she's really a non-entity at this point. Y'all let me know, because I have no idea. I feel like a judge would be like, well, she's not around, so I mean, what are you gonna do? She's just an unhealthy person. She said she's only talked to her a few times, but she's not involved at all. So that was it with that. Jen and Dolores, they go out to lunch, and they're eating. Oh, what Dolores had looks so good. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes. When her food finally came, I was like, yes, Dolores. I put Lola, Dolores. Frank calls her Dolore, but Lola is short for Dolores. Shout out to all the Doloreses who get called Lola. So they start talking about Margaret. How could you defend Margaret? The fighting got nowhere between us. I don't like fighting with you. She says you didn't defend me because what Jennifer was doing was playing tennis, okay, with Margaret. You were playing a game. You were playing a dangerous game, and she served when she hit that ball back into the court. It knocked you right in square in your face. You were not prepared for the game she was ready to play. You decided to play a game with Margaret, and she was playing the game better than you. And she had something. You had a little bone hanging out the closet, and Margaret said, yeah, and pulled it right out the closet. So before you start playing games with people, you have to remember, what do I have in my closet that can be yanked out? And Margaret yanked it out. And that's the reason why Dolores didn't defend you, because you went snooping around. Oh, we were snooping on Evan. We were snooping on Margaret. We were snooping. I just wanted to see. I was curious. All of this stuff. And Margaret yanked your bones right out of the closet. And then you wanted people to defend you. You were playing a game, sweetie. You were playing a one-on-one. It was one-on-one. You can't ask people to defend you. You was playing the game too, ma'am. So that's why I like Jennifer. I think she's funny. I love that she comes back. I love she doesn't back down. But girl, you was playing a game. And you weren't ready for the game that Margaret had ready. You weren't ready for her game, okay? I should have come to you to find out if you were going through things or whatever. I said some hurtful things. Let's call a truce. I should have been there differently for Jennifer. I did hear that you and Bill were fighting. And she says, yeah, it's really about raising the kids, right? Where they're having their conflict, and how he comes in and he scolds her for the way that she's raising the kids, but he doesn't provide any input. It's like he's the boss, right? We already know that. Um, she says, Dolores says, oh no, he needs to spend more time at home. She says he does spend more time at home, but he's still in the pool house. And I'm fed up with it. And that's when Dolores says, I was lucky that I wasn't married when I was raising my kids, because you don't have that person who, yes, they're providing the financial support, but they're not providing any other support. And then the way that you do things, they got something to say about it. I feel like if you are not contributing, you shouldn't have anything to say. The only way you're contributing is financial. If you're not contributing in how I'm raising these children, then you should have nothing to say. That's how I feel. He should not have nothing to say. If you have something to say, you want it done differently, then you contribute to what you want done differently. That's it. That's how I feel about Nabil. Okay. Um, she says I cater to him, and that's cultural, right? We learn that, a lot of different cultures learn to cater to the man, center the man, center his needs, do everything for the man, the man, the man, the man, the man, the man, right? And then you realize, like, goddamn, my cup is not being filled with anything. I'm filling his cup up, but he doesn't reciprocate. He doesn't do anything to help. So you're over here catering to this man, catering to the children, and nobody is doing anything for you, except for an occasional handbag here and there and this and that, but that's not fulfilling, right? An occasional Chanel bag, right, Jennifer? But she says, I'm over that. I'm over that. I don't want to do that anymore. I mean, all Jennifer has to do is look at her mother. And it's ironic, when Jennifer's mother was complaining about how her and her father were getting along and how he was, Jennifer took her father's side. She took her father's side, and that's why her mother stopped speaking to her for all of those months, because you centered once again, and that's by design. That's by your programming. You centered your dad when your mother is telling you he was a goddamn terrorist. No, you thought, well, she's being so mean to him. Well, you ever thought about why she's being mean? You ever thought about why she has some resentment? You ever thought about why she was bitter a little bit? Yes, because that man didn't do nothing but terrorize her. And here you are, her daughter, sticking up for him and coddling him and telling him he could come stay with you because my mother is so mean. She's mean because he was mean to her. That's why. And now look at what you're going through, Jennifer. But somehow you're living the dream life, and Margaret wants your life, girl. I don't know about that. So Jennifer says they're going to have a Turkish coffee grind reader come, and she doesn't really want Margaret at her house. So Dolores says, let's do it at Paulie's house. So that's the plan. Okay, so Melissa and Joe, we see the house that Joe is building for Melissa. And she tells him that they're going to do a pop-up shop with Danielle, and she always leaves. What do we say? She always leaves, girl. You're gonna leave one day, and they're gonna be like, you don't have to come back. It's okay. You better stop getting up and leaving. Everybody, that was like the theme throughout the entire episode, that Danielle gets up and leaves. She's probably, this is her first season, so she probably has to get used to, like, you know, confronting conflict. A lot of people run from conflict. A lot of people do. And it's comfortable for them to run from conflict. And it's uncomfortable when they have to actually talk about things. And that's one of the things that the Housewives, a lot of these reality shows, one of the things they do is make you confront the issues instead of being able to run away from them. So Danielle, you're going to have to learn, and this is your first season, so we can give her a little grace, but you're going to have to learn that you just can't walk away. The conflicts that you're having with these women, you're going to have to face them. And that's it. I mean, you don't have to, but I don't know how long that's going to work in production. Not sure. Um, they said that when, girl, did you see that clip of Louie crying, squeezing out those tears? I said, this motherfucker is a performer. I was thinking about, when I was brushing my teeth this morning, I was thinking about Teresa and Louie, and I wonder how long that relationship is going to last, because it seems that Louie befriends the men in that are in relationship with Teresa, and then he does business with them, and then the business goes bad. So we've heard now twice, the business with Joe Gorga went bad, and the business with Dina's husband went bad. And now all of a sudden Dina is not coming to Teresa's wedding because Dina's husband and Louie, Lobster Louie, got into a bad business deal, or it was some bad business between them. And now that relationship is severed. I don't know what is going on with Teresa and Louie. I don't know what Louie, but coming back, they said he was sobbing. And Joe was like, sobbing? He was like, all of this shit is fake. And they've clocked him. They've clocked him. All this shit is fake. He wants to be, oh, kumbaya. He wants to act like he's God and getting everybody together. But you are really a manipulator, like for real, doing the little manipulative thing, right? And what's crazy is that Teresa is like, I feel sorry for Louie. Feel sorry for him? How? Girl, I was like, girl, this is a mess. Okay, girl. It's all fake. He did bad business with Dina's husband, and now Dina's not in the wedding, and that's why all of a sudden, Dolores and Jennifer are in the wedding now. All of a sudden. I love when Melissa was like, what? So all of a sudden you were meditating and you got this vision, girl. She was like, girl, get out of here. Um, Danielle is on the phone with Teresa FaceTime. Teresa says her immune system is low because she was fighting with Melissa. It's nothing else. It's always even when you get sick, it's somebody else's fault, girl. Teresa says that Joe and Melissa are miserable. Louie was crying. That's the only family I have, and I'm so drained. Um, Danielle left upset, and she was mad because, what's her name went back and told Margaret. She made it seem like she was the one talking about her. But we see in the next clip when they're in Ireland, Danielle is sitting on the bed and Jennifer Aiden is right there. And once again, Danielle is asking about what is going on with Margaret. So instead of just listening to what people are saying about this woman, you're taking it, holding on to it, and wanting to know more. The same way people are wanting to know more about you and your brother's situation. But you don't want to know about that. You want to know about Margaret's situation. That's why Margaret's going to be on your ass. And I bet you Margaret is going to find out why you and your brother don't talk. She's going to get to the bottom of it. I bet you that. You keep asking about Margaret, she's going to start asking about you. And that's the game Jennifer Aiden was playing with Margaret. Keep playing with Margaret. Keep playing with her. Keep playing with her. Okay. She said that Rachel was a catty, snotty bitch. And, Danielle shares with us that she has trauma from not being accepted. Got people gossiping about her when she was in school, and the girls, they're not, making fun of her and she's not getting along with the girls. She says, and that's really what makes me want to leave. And then Teresa says, they're showing their true colors. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Danielle is playing a dangerous game because you don't want nobody to know about you and your brother, but you're so interested about knowing the details of what is happening with Margaret, when you should actually just get to know Margaret on your own instead of trying to find out the gossip about Margaret. She's going to find out some shit about you. And then all of a sudden you're going to be crying. You're going to be looking like Jennifer, Roxanne. You're going to be looking like her, or crying and stuff and asking people to defend you. Keep playing the game with Margaret. Keep playing. At Paulie's house. Everybody loves Paulie's house. We love Paulie. I love his house. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Melissa says, Dolores got all these men building houses for her. She had Frank build a house for her. She had David build a house for her. Now she in this house with Paulie. Dolores must be doing something right. Dolores really looks good with that black hair. She really does. Um, the Margaret wants to know, why are y'all doing this together? And she says, oh, because we wanted to make sure that we were had it at somebody's house. Jennifer didn't really want to do it at her house, so I decided to do it here. And then Margaret says Dolores really doesn't want to fight with Jennifer. She don't really even like Jennifer, and I agree with that. If you watch how Dolores has dealt with Jennifer from the beginning, all that crying that Jennifer does. Dolores is like a tough broad. You know what I'm saying? She's tough. And she's one of those women that, what are you crying for? What are you doing all that crying and shit? Jennifer does all that crying. Dolores doesn't get jiggy with that. And she never has. So I don't really think that she cares that much about Jennifer like that. She's just like, I just don't want to fight with the girl. Like, just, we don't need to be fighting. She says she really doesn't like her. Dolores announces that Teresa wants them to be bridesmaids. I don't know if they thought that was going to trigger Melissa, but Melissa was like, girl, she didn't even invite you to her engagement party. And she was like, I know, but that doesn't matter. Dolores, what is wrong with you? Like, I think about Dolores's relationship. Now I know Dolores and Teresa have known each other since they were in junior high school, since they were kids. They've known each other for a very long time. So maybe she's just like, I know who she is. I know what she's like. I don't really care. I know how she moves. Maybe she just has accepted Teresa for who she is and just is like, that's my girl. I've known her since I was a kid and I'm going to stick beside her. Because I'm like, what do you mean? You didn't get invited to her engagement party because Dina was there. And now Dina's not in the wedding and all of a sudden you're second choice? Y'all second choice now. Okay. What's her name was like, it's just a little weird that, that's what Jennifer Fessler was like. Well, she did lose a bridesmaid. It's the S is not silent, honey. She did lose a bridesmaid, and now they're filling in, I guess. And Teresa says she had a vision while she was meditating. Very convenient. Melissa's not buying it, okay? It came in a vision. It's time to eat. Marge and Danielle are sitting at the table. She said, this is a little awkward with a mouthful of food. And then she goes, yeah, because you stormed out in a huff. And she says, yeah, well, I forgot what she said. I forgot what Danielle said. But anyways, Dolores announces a trip to Ireland. So that should be fun. She says, it really changed her when her and Paulie went to Ireland. They stayed in a castle and blah, blah, blah. I can't wait. It looks like they're going to have a good time. Hopefully they have a good time. Okay, so they start with the cup reading. Everybody drinks their cups. They flip the cup upside down, and then they give the lady their cup on a saucer. Her name is Angie. Dolores, you're going to see a ring on your finger. You saw Paulie in the back like, girl, what? Rachel, I see a V, and in 3 months, there's going to be a significant victory for you. She shares about, adopting the son. Margaret was emotional about that. She says, she helped raise her stepkids. And so from my understanding, stepkids don't really fool with Margaret anymore because of the infidelity. But yeah, Margaret was really emotional about that, and probably because, of, everything that transpired after. Margaret, a close friend with an L, with a knife in your back. Everybody's looking like, girl, what? Everybody was like, girl, no, shut up, Jackie. Jackie, she's skeptical. She was like, girl, give me a break. She's like, it's just too much. And then she said, but y'all are going to rekindle. She was like, never. Then Jennifer Aiden prefaces it by asking about her husband. She says, your husband loves you a lot. You love spending time with your family. You have a lot of endorsements that you turn down. And then they showed a clip from when they were at Fessler's house and they were talking about Jennifer not having endorsements and stuff like that. And the word was so specific that they were like, oh my God. Everybody was literally laughing in that lady's face. I was a little uncomfortable by that. But I was like, come on, the exact word. And then Jennifer's like, I don't know this lady. Girl, I don't know if you know her, but it seems like you know her because everybody's thing was favorable, one, and it was so on point. So I don't know. It was a little off to me. Um, Margaret says the only endorsements she has are from Charmin because she got 18 bathrooms and she's full of shit. You know, Margaret, Troutmouth Margaret is my girl. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say. Margaret is my girl. Don't fool with Margaret. That's what y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like it because people mess with Margaret and she has an arsenal. Yeah, she might have an arsenal, but I think they all do. They all come out with things. They all get sent stuff. That's the one thing that I honestly do not like about the reality shows is that they're bringing stuff from like rumors and people that send them DMs and stuff like that, and then they bring them to the show and act like they're gonna bust somebody out. I honestly don't like that the shows have gotten to that. Potomac is really bad with that. It like has ruined the whole dynamic of the show, that they're just waiting to like, here's a rumor that I know, I'm just waiting till you get on my nerves and I'm gonna just lay this rumor out. It doesn't make for good TV. But yeah, that keep fucking around with Margaret. Jackie chimes in. She says, oh no, they get on Danielle. Danielle, you have conflict, you and your brother, but it's going to get resolved. Jackie chimes in and says, I really hope that happens. And she was like, do you? She said, yeah, because I know what it's like not to talk to a sibling. And so then she says, if you don't like things, you don't get to walk away. I think that's what Melissa was telling her. You don't have to walk away every single time. And she says to Rachel, she said, you made it seem like I was sabotaging Margaret. And she's like, just because I'm repeating what you said, this is what Rachel's saying to Danielle, just because I'm repeating what you said doesn't mean I'm using your words against you. You said that. Like, you said it. And like I said, in Ireland, you want to know more, but you're going to be mad when Margaret wants to know more about your life. Watch. I bet you. And then she says, all I know is that I just can't talk to you anymore. I can't talk to you. And then the next episode, she calls her a rat. So Melissa says, where I'm from, calling somebody a rat is a big deal. She calls her a rat. But my whole thing is, if it's a friend group, you're talking about one of the women. Rachel's trying to, develop a relationship with Margaret and them. And she's like, well, girl, she really is interested in knowing, the gossip about you when when Teresa and Jennifer are saying to watch out for you. She's like very invested in knowing why and what other stuff and this and that. So you want the cheese mess. You want to know all the gossip. You want to know it. So that's why when Margaret wants to know about your brother and gets down to the facts about your brother, don't get upset. She's doing the same thing you're doing. So you want to know, she wants to know. All right. Anyways, y'all, that's the end of our recap. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video. Take care of each other and protect your energy. Peace.